Judge, this is a case of Cassidy's.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Miss Cassidy, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
We were married for several years, and he adopted my son from my first marriage, which meant my first husband relinquished all rights, and he doesn't want to take care of the child anymore now that we're divorced.
Okay, sir, is there a reason you don't want to take care of your son?
Well, he's not my son.
Well, yes, he is. You adopted him.
I thought I was in love with her. I just wanted to please her.
So you didn't really love the child at all, your son? Because he is your son, just so we're clear. You're not going to be able to say things like, it's not my child. You adopted this child legally. This is your child.
Well, he's not blood. He's her son. He's not my blood son. He's a redhead.
What does that have to do with anything, the color of his hair?
Kids.
What does the color of his hair have to do with anything?
I just always hated redheaded kids.
Okay. How did the two of you meet?
Well, I had been divorced several years, and I'm a farmer.
All right, folks, buckle up. This courtroom showdown is about to get intense. The video kicks off with dramatic, high-stakes music as Judge Vonda Bailey takes her seat, setting the stage for a fiery legal clash. The tension in the room is palpable. Enter Miss Cassidy, composed but clearly determined. She lays it all out. Her ex-husband willingly adopted her son from a previous marriage, committing to raise him as his own. But now that they're divorced, he's turning his back, refusing to support the child he once swore to care for. Then comes the ex-husband's cold rebuttal. He's not my biological son. Gasps ripple through the courtroom. But Judge Vonda Bailey, she's not having it. She shuts that argument down instantly, reminding him and everyone in the room that adoption isn't just a gesture. It's a lifelong, legally binding commitment, just as real as biology. The drama is at an all-time high, and trust me, we're just getting started.
Yes, he's a farmer.
Ma'am, I will give you your opportunity to speak in just a moment, okay? Go ahead, sir.
So my friends took me out to a club. I call them mammary clinics. Took me out to a mammary clinic for my birthday, and that's where I met her, and she strapped it to me, and I fell in love with her that night. And
you fell in love enough to adopt her son?
To marry her, because I thought I was in love with her.
Okay.
And so we got married, and she coaxed me into adopting her kid.
Okay, you adopted the child. Yeah. And you're here today because she wants you to
pay child support.
Pay child support and take care of your child.
He's more of a ballerina than he is a boy.
What do you mean by a ballerina?
I don't want that kid. He's.
Sir, you adopted this child.
Well, let his own father adopt him back.
Wait a minute. His father terminated his rights, and you adopted this child.
Well, she can talk.
I'm not about to play this game with you, sir. Mr. Cassidy, we're not doing that today, okay? This is your child. You legally adopted the child, and you can be legally responsible for paying child support as well.
Well, his first dad gave up his rights. How come I can't give up my rights?
Well, you know what? We're not doing that today. Today, you're going to take care of this child, okay?
Okay, what?
And you're not going to give him up because he's...
Now, here's where things take a wild turn. The ex-husband drops a bombshell. He admits he only adopted the child to keep Miss Cassidy happy, not because he actually cared. And then, wait for it, he starts nitpicking the kid's red hair and even calls him a ballerina, as if that has anything to do with being a parent. Seriously? Miss Cassidy then reveals she even dyed the child's hair, hoping it would make him more accepting. Let that sink in. The judge is visibly frustrated, and honestly, so are we. His excuses aren't just weak, they're downright ridiculous. It's painfully clear he's more concerned about himself than the well-being of the child he once promised to love.
No.
He don't fish.
Sir, Mr. Cassidy, how much money do you make a year?
Approximately 83.
83,000. And ma'am, now I'm to you. What does this mean, farmer?
I'd rather not go into detail.
Good.
Okay. $83,000 a year. And sir, you said, how many other children do you have?
I have 2.
2, okay. So you have 3 kids
They're
total.
not redheaded either.
Sir, the color of their hair should not affect whether or not you decide to be a father to those children versus your adopted son. You understand?
I understand.
Okay, well, as long as you understand. I have your gross, yes ma'am.
So I've dyed the little boy's hair now, so he...
What color is his hair now, ma'am?
His hair is the same color of his now.
And you all are aware that the color of this child's hair doesn't matter in terms of the financial responsibility, right?
I understand that, but he doesn't, so I'm just trying to make it to where he
I don't want to
likes
buy
his son.
tutus for
You
the
know
rest
what, it
of
is
his life.
ridiculous she even had to dye the child's hair to even make you receive any type of comfort, sir. That's ridiculous. Now, at $83,000 a year, I have your gross at $6,916.67.
Wow.
Who carries health insurance for this child?
I do.
How much is it for the child only?
$230 a month.
$230. Okay, sir, you're going to reimburse that to her monthly. Yes, you are. And your net comes out to $5,482.88.
Oh.
Yes. What do we need to call an ambulance? You okay? Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe an ambulance might help me.
Okay, well, right now I'm getting ready to help you with these numbers, okay?
Or a
Giving you
12
credit for
gauge.
the other children that you have. Your child support obligation is $808.72 plus the health insurance reimbursement of $230 a month. That makes your monthly obligation $1,038.72.
Okay, that's gonna run
Okay,
me.
and you can afford it. It's 83. You make $83,000, sir.
Now, it's time to get down to business. The judge reviews the ex-husband's income, $83,000 a year, and calculates his child support, $88.75 per month, plus $230 for health insurance. But of course, he's not happy about it. He immediately starts whining about his farming overhead costs, as if that somehow justifies skipping out on his responsibilities. Nice try. Miss Cassidy attempts to request back pay, but the judge explains it wasn't included in the paperwork, so she can't award it. Meanwhile, the ex-husband's sarcastic remarks about farming and expenses only make him look worse. But Judge Vonda Bailey isn't here for the excuses. She shuts him down, making it crystal clear his legal obligation to support this child isn't up for debate, no matter how he feels about it.
Well, there's a lot of overhead for farming.
Well, you know what?
Now-
Dye your hair red.
Well, that's not gonna help me pay my bills. That's
It
not gonna help me
might.
feed my cattle.
Well, you know what? You might want to choose some different alternatives.
Well, you gotta eat. That's what, where do you think your food comes from?
You grow my food?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I pay for it from you, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, guess what? You're going to continue to grow your food, and you're going to take care of this child, who's now the hair is dyed because you had a problem with the color of the child's hair. Ridiculous. Is there anything further here?
Yes, the last year that he hasn't paid, can he pay the back pay as well?
You know what? That is a great question. Are you asking for back pay today, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, unfortunately, you did not put that in your paperwork that you filed with the court request.
Just when you think this case can't get any crazier, Miss Cassidy throws out a wild suggestion. Maybe her ex-husband could dodge child support by remarrying her. The courtroom erupts in laughter. Even the judge cracks a smile, but she quickly sets the record straight. This isn't a reunification court. With that, she dismisses the case and orders the ex-husband to pay up. But even with the ruling, his attitude remains just as dismissive and unapologetic. It's painfully clear he still doesn't get it, and honestly, he probably never will. The segment ends on a mix of humor and frustration, leaving us shaking our heads at the sheer audacity of this guy.
Fortunately, if you did not ask previously, I can't award it to you.
Okay.
So, monthly obligation. Listen,
Judge, there's another
we don't
option.
need all of that.
If he wants to come back and remarry me, we can do that. Then he won't have to worry about child support.
Well, I mean, that's
have-
an option.
I'm going back to my ex-wife.
That's an option.
I've got my other wife and kids. They're coming back. We're back
I just
together.
thought as long as he was
okay.
going back and forth, you know.
Oh, well, I'm glad to see you.
No going back.
Well, I'm glad to see that you moved on, and I'm glad to see that you're open to that possibility, but unfortunately, this is not reunification court.
Maybe she
This is
should go
child
back to
support
the
court.
memory clinic and go to
So,
work.
well, guess what? If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Want to give that to your wife? Maybe she'll have you comb your hair.
Do that here.
Finally, lawyer Vonda Bailey steps in to break it all down. She explains the legal weight of step-parent adoption under Texas law, making it clear, adopting a child isn't just a gesture. It's a lifelong commitment even after divorce. Bailey urges viewers to subscribe and share their own stories, reminding us that these cases go beyond legal battles. They're about real children's lives. The segment wraps up on an educational note, connecting the emotional drama to its bigger legal implications. And honestly, after watching this, you'll never see child support cases the same way again.